What's up YouTube, it's TCG here and thanks again for watching our TCG deck profile video on my channel. Today we're gonna check out a brand new deck. It's going to be Zoroark with Alolan Ninetails. This is the new Hype GX from Lost Thunder which comes out on the 2nd of November, and in this deck list we're gonna check out what is being used in a deck like this. Zoroark, of course, we know him with the ability trade, being able to draw a bunch of cards, and we're gonna rely heavily on, of course, unit energy because it covers the fairy type, the fighting type, as well as the darkness type. And if we look at our stage 1 attackers, we have the fairy type Alolan Ninetales, we have Zoroark as being a darkness type, and then of course we have our fighting type Lycanroc. So this is a stage 1 deck relying heavily on the new Ditto Prism star which can evolve into everything. So we're gonna go over every single one of the cards and let's check out this deck profile right now. But before we do that, be sure to demolish the like button if you enjoy content like this, because that way I know what to make up next. You can leave your suggestions in the comment section below. Alright. First things first, every Zoroark deck runs, of course, a 4-4 line of Zoroark. Why is that any different here? Because we need to draw those cards to get everything we possibly want. Zoroark-GX also has the attack Righteous Beating, which deals 120 damage as a maximum. With things like Choice Band and Professor Kukui, you hit 170 damage, so that is an amazing number. Not only that, Zoroark has, of course, the Trickster GX, which now is accessible in a deck like this because we rely on unit energy. Things like switch can make sure that you can get a Trickster GX going out of nowhere when the opponent least expects it. So I definitely love that Zoroark is either an attacker and also a support Pokemon. Then for the other main attacker, it's going to be Alolan Ninetails GX. This is a fantastic, it's a rainbow rare. I always see that good on the camera, so I'm just gonna swap them around like this. So you see, we have Alolan Ninetales, we have, of course, the mysterious, it's not mysterious lead like the translation, it is called mysterious guidance. And with this card you can just search your deck for any two items if you evolve from Vulpix. So you just evolve from Alolan Vulpix, go into Alolan Ninetales, and you have access to all of your item cards. So you're gonna see that there's a ton of one-off items in this deck. You can just get your Choice Band when you want it, your Counter Gain when you're behind in prize cards, and even an Ultra Volley for dead drawing. So a very, very solid card and ups the consistency in your deck a lot. It also comes back with Snowy Winds dealing 70 damage and then 30 on the bench. With things like Choice Band, you one-shot Rayquaza, and of course the GX move can one-shot every single Ultra Beast in one shot. So very, very great card indeed. There's going to be a 2-2 line of that in here. Of course, we are still relying on the Alolan Vulpix here because Alolan Vulpix has the attack for free beacon. Search your deck for 2 Pokemon and put them in the hand, so that's why it's also in here. It's also nice if the opponent is playing Brooklet Hill, we can make use of that stadium card as well to just get out our Vulpix or Rockruff. So as you see, there's only a 1-1 line of the Lycanroc in this list. Why is that? Because you mainly want to get out Vulpix and Zorua, and sometimes if you want to have multiple Rockruffs, you can rely on Ditto Prism Star. So Ditto Prism Star can evolve into every stage 1. That could be a Zoroark, that could be an Alolan Ninetails GX, that could be a Lycanroc GX. It all depends on the situation, and if you just want to make things clear here, we are running a unit energy, and as soon as you see a Ditto Prism Star with a unit energy, it can be anything you ever want it to be. So that's why I love Ditto Prism Star in a deck like this. Now back to Lycanroc GX. Lycanroc is just so powerful with that ability to drag every bench Pokemon from the opponent to the active position once you evolve into it, and also comes back with Dangerous Rogue GX, probably the most dominant GX move in the meta right now, because it can dish out so much damage against everything, because it deals 50 damage for every one of the opponent's bench Pokemon, and with things like Choice Band and Professor Kukui, you just dish out crazy numbers. Not only that, there's also double Kara's energies in this deck. That means Claw Slash is easy accessible, and if you use Claw Slash on Zoroark, you'll just have an awesome time. Yeah, I already explained Ditto here. Let's go to the other one-offs. There's Tapu Koko, Flying Flip. Flying Flip is actually very great against the Lost March deck. Lost March just sometimes hits crazy numbers. There's 2 Rescue Stretchers in the deck as well, so sometimes if you're seeing, oh, I'm up against Lost March, get out your Tapu Koko, and it's done. Next up is going to be the Buzzwole. Sledgehammer is fantastic if the opponent has exactly 4 prize cards remaining. You can just use that Sledgehammer for a crazy amount of damage. 120 for a single attachment is always great, and with things being weak to fighting, think about Zoroark. There's also other Pokemon that are weak to fighting. You definitely want yourself Buzzwole. Next up, there's going to be 2 copies of Tapu Lele. Tapu Lele is still the consistency master. You just smack it down with Wonder Tech, you have access to all of your supporters, and that is very awesome to see. You can just search your deck for whatever you want, like a Kukui, you got it. Cynthia, you got it. First turn Lily, you got it. A Guzma, you got it. Acerola, so you get the point. This searches out every supporter, but can also pack quite the punch, because of course we run double card energy drive deals 20 damage for every energy attached to both active Pokemon. So with a DCE that's already 40 if the opponent has energy, so you dish out more. So Lele can also attack, and not only that, we're running 1 copy of Rainbow Energy, so sometimes we can heal off all of the damage of 2 of our bench Pokemon with the Tapu Lele GX. So every attack is accessible in this deck except for Electro Ball and of course Tapu Koko, but you don't want to do that. Okay, now we're gonna go through the supporters. We're gonna run 3 copies of Cynthia. Cynthia is amazing because it's the best draw supporter in the deck. You could also rely on Sightseer, but I'm not a big fan of Sightseer in a deck like this. You don't want to discard all of your stuff, so I think 3 Cynthia is just fine. Pair that up with 2 Lilies, because Lily early game is fantastic. This deck also does not run Professor Elm. I tried out Professor Elm in a deck like this, but I still think that using a first turn Lily together with 4 Nazball is the way to go. You could also rely on Professor Elm, that is your choice, but from testing I think this also works out. Maybe you can just cut 1 of the Lilies for Professor Elm, so sometimes you want your Tapu Lele for Professor Elm. That works out perfectly as well. It is all personal preference. I just want to mention it right here. Okay, next up there's going to be 3 copies of Professor Kukui. I adore Professor Kukui because dishing out more damage is very great. Think about Zoroark, now Righteous Beating dishes out 140, enough for things like Baby Buzzwole, Shining Lugia, Delmice, you name it, it hits the numbers perfectly. Not only that, the Alolan Ninetales then dishes out 90 damage, and that is just enough what we need to just destroy Rayquaza. And together with Professor Kukui and of course sniping capabilities of Alolan Ninetales and stuff, this is going to be a fantastic way to go about this. It's also based on a very nice winning list in Japan, so 3 copies of Professor Kukui. That's also debatable, but with the knowledge here with Kukui, with the Flying Flip, you also one-shot things like Natu, so I do adore that. There's going to be 3 copies of Guzma in the deck. You want to target everything you want to. There's only a small 1/1 line of Rockruff. With Ditto, that could be a 2/1 line, but you understand that we do need 3 Guzmas in this list. Then for the last supporter of the deck, it's going to be Acerola. Acerola is just fantastic with Zoroark. In this format, if you haven't seen Acerola at all, you are sleeping under a rock, because Zoroark is in love with Acerola. You just want to use Righteous Beating, you get some damage, you use Acerola and put it back in the hand. That's how fantastic this card is. Now we're gonna go to the item cards. There's going to be 4 copies of Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball is just universal search, thins out the hand, and yeah, it lets you discard a lot of cards. We do have things like Rescue Stretcher to get some stuff back, so it doesn't even matter too much what you discard, but I do think Ultra Ball is nice for the first turn Tapu Lele, for the first turn Lily, because you thin out your hand, and with Lily you draw a bunch of cards, and with 4 copies of the upcoming card here, Nazball, you just assure that you just fill up your bench. As mentioned, you can also scratch Nazball and rely on a lot of Professor Elm's lecture. That's something we've seen in the past, because a lot of people tried out like 3 copies of Professor Elm's lecture, so you always started with it. But in this version of the list, we still are running a 70 HP Rockruff, so just as a little understanding, that's why we are running Nazball over, of course, the Professor Elm's lecture, because we can run more, let me just check that. More HP Rockruff, so that is what we're doing here. Then of course for the tool cards, there's a lot of tool cards in this list. We are gonna run 3 copies of Choice Band. Dishing out more damage is always good, there's no difference here. 3 copies of that. With that, the Zoroark dishes out 150, Ninetales dishes out 100, and of course it helps with the math of Lycanroc-GX. Then 1 copy of the bodybuilding dumbbells. The good thing about running Alolan Ninetales is that you can now run one-off items, because we can search them out with mysterious guidance. So 1 copy of bodybuilding dumbbells to get more HP on our stage 1s. 1 counter gain to just use it whenever we're behind in prize cards. That means the GX move of Alolan Ninetales is accessible with only 1 attachment. Same goes for Dangerous Rogue GX on Lycanroc-GX, so counter gain is fantastic. 2 copies of Field Blower, because yeah, Shrine of Punishment is still around. We are not running the Devoured Field in this list. We're more relying on Professor Kukui, so that's why there's 2 copies of Field Blower in this list to get rid of those annoying Shrine of Punishments. Let me just put them a bit aside so we have more space on the playmat for the other cards. Okay, next up is going to be 2 copies of Rescue Stretcher. Rescue Stretcher is kind of neat because with this we can get back any Pokemon except for Ditto Prism Star, because if that one gets discarded it goes to the Lost Zone immediately, unfortunately. But this is just fantastic, getting your puzzle pieces like Lycanroc back and Alolan Ninetales, which you discarded with Ultra Ball. It gives you some flexibility, and also those one prize attackers like Koko. As mentioned, against Lost March, Koko is your main attacker. Moving forward, we're gonna have an enhanced hammer because the format will be flooded with a lot of special energies, things like about unit energy, double colorless energy, rainbow energy. All those special energies can be easily discarded, very great in the mirror match. Then 1 copy of Multi-Switch. I adore the Multi-Switch card so much in this deck. As mentioned, if you have 1 unit energy in play, all of your GX moves are accessible except for Tapu Lele, and you can just use Multi-Switch and just put that energy on whatever Pokemon you want, attach one of the turn, and you can have access to so much capability, and it's just fantastic, the versatility with unit energy and Multi-Switch. Then, to finish it off, of the items, there's a lot of one-offs as mentioned. There's going to be Energy Lotto. With Alolan Ninetales, you search out an item card. Sometimes that could be a tool card, sometimes that could be an Ultra Ball to get a Lele to get a supporter, so you have access to all of your items, all of your supporters, and with Ultra Ball you also have access to all of your Pokemon. What is Alolan Ninetales not capable of is getting energy cards. So sometimes you just, I just want 1 energy to win the game, while Mysterious Guidance can get your Energy Lotto, so sometimes you also have access to getting your energy, so that's why it's in here. And now for the energies themselves, we are gonna be running 4 unit energies. I don't know if it will fit in the entire video, but we're just gonna try 4 copies of unit energy just to make sure that we have the energy required for the attacks of our stage 1s. We don't have to be afraid of Xurkitree. Buzzwole is still a very popular and heavily played Pokemon, so Buzzwole keeps Xurkitree in check. Don't be afraid of Xurkitree at all, in my opinion. If Xurkitree gets popular thanks to things like the electric powered or the Thunder Mountain and whatever, then maybe you should play some basic energies, but for now it's kind of good. We have to wait and see how the meta develops. Then 4 copies of the Double Colorless Energy. Double Colorless Energy is fantastic. It fuels Zoroark so much. Also packs quite a punch for Claw Slash and Energy Drive. So that's why there's 4 copies of that in here. And then 1 single copy of the Rainbow Energy. Let us put Energy Lotto like this. So we have room for our 1 copy of the Rainbow Energy. And that is the list for y'all today. So hopefully you enjoyed another deck profile on the channel. Of course, this is a made from checking out a lot of tournament results and decklists from Japan, so this is something neat you can try out as soon as Lost Thunder hits in 14 days after the set has been released. That will be the 16th of November. You can start using these cards in tournament play, so let me know what you think about the list. Do you want to change something? Let me know in the comments. Are you a fan of Professor Elm's lecture over the Nesball variant? Let me know, I want to hear your opinion. Anyhow, this was Zapdos TCG. Like the video if you enjoyed what you saw, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Thanks again for watching, stay fresh and enjoy the rest of your day. Peace out.